So you make it to the entrance and this happens.
Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex is now closed. Initiating nighttime protocols.
No, no! Wait, I'm still here! Now what am I supposed to do?
How unfortunate, Gregory. You missed your chance. But there is still hope. You should be able to escape when the security doors reopen at 6 a.m. Until then, keep moving, and try not to draw attention to yourself. If there is another way out, I will help you find it. I promise.
Why would the building be designed so that you can't get out of it? Like, you can definitely lock it from the outside, but why would you ever make it so that you can't unlock something from inside? That doesn't make any sense. How are you going to get rid of intruders out of your building? How are you going to get them out if the door literally will not open until a specific time, no matter which side of it you're on? That's stupid. And by the way, Freddy's aware of this. He said that we didn't have much time to get out, yet he still decided to take us to the first aid station. Even though Gregory specifically said while he was doing that there wasn't enough time. I sure am happy with this writing quality, because it means that they made things much harder for themselves than it would have been if they didn't do anything that was stupid. Why is there an umbrella indoors? The exact same thing I said about the photo pass in part 1 will also apply to this complimentary entry pass. It only gives you access to the entrance of the Pizzaplex anyway, so what's the point of having them be printed in the first place when you can just let people walk around the entrance in the gift shop anyway? In fact, you could make more money that way by making the gift shop more accessible.
It's like printing my own money.
The game places a mop bot animated like a Game & Watch character who, if you walk up to it, he will call in Chica, even though staff bots are not introduced yet, and therefore players might end up losing progress due to walking into this guy without knowing about the fact that he can do that. And even then, Chica's not much of a threat either. Look at what happens here. She just stands there, somehow not seeing me. Oh well. Even though the robots that can kill you in this game are so incompetent, they need other things to tell you tell them where you are, she still can't do that. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for. We finally reached the first area of the game that has the sort of gameplay you'll be seeing for the rest of the game. And I'm sorry, but this gameplay is fundamentally flawed. I already brought up the fact that the animatronics are too incompetent on their own to actually kill you, but what happens, Steelwool's solution was just put these staff bots everywhere, over every square inch of the map, patrolling around the place, and the gameplay actually just becomes about avoiding these guys who move in predictable patterns that are set and don't change. And it just becomes really, really boring and unfun because of that. And it should be such a simple fix. Just make it so that the animatronics are good enough at hearing and detecting you. They have to actually be stealthy and careful throughout the entire game. That would be much more interesting and a lot more fun. The game gives you a tutorial on how to check the cameras, even though you've already used them at this point. Sometimes you don't get jump scared by the staff bots when they catch you, and other times they do jump scare you. It's inconsistent. So we get a note stating that magnets screw with the ticket machines for some reason. And the gift shop just so happens to have a box you can open that gives you a magnet. And even if you've already read that message, Gregory complains about it.
Freddy, I found the free gift! It's a crappy Mr. Hippo fridge magnet? Lame.
How are we supposed to like this kid? He's just a brat the entire game. Also, Gregory says,
Freddy, I found the free gift!
Implying that he and Freddy had already talked about the fact that there was a free prize in the gift shop, which they didn't. And I went to the gift shop first in this playthrough, but even if you go to the ticket machine in the customer service thing first, he still doesn't mention a free prize.
And then I need to get the magnet.
Perhaps there is a way to hack it back out. Try Glamrock Gifts. They have lots of trinkets, knickknacks, and doodads.
These shelves are collapsed and not set up properly, one of which has planks clipping through the models of plushes. Also, these masks are too small to fit on a human head. The game expects you to find these really small buttons which happen to open the doors, but the buttons are so small that most players will just end up walking back up the stairs and out the long way, which they're not intended to do. Did I mention the fact that you're supposed to find the buttons on your own and the game doesn't actually mention them at all? I should also bring up the hiding mechanic, which does make the game easier, but it is incredibly boring and tedious to use. You just sit and look at the cameras and wait for an animatronic to just walk on by until you can finally exit without them being able to spot you immediately. That's it, and it's annoying. Luckily, you are able to beat the game without it, and I will actually give Steelwool credit for that, for making a trophy about playing the game without hiding. That actually encourages you to play it in a more enjoyable way, but the game still sucks anyway. I might as well mention it now, but this game utterly fails at being a horror game. The environment it takes place in is too bright, flashy, and colorful for me to be scared for even a second. Chica's mindless security protocol dialogue and the fact that she walks around in such a limp position are the only things in the entire game that make me actually think that they tried with the horror element. Maybe they just tried to make it marketable for children, I don't know. And if they did, then that's stupid because the FNaF series is already accessible to people of all ages. It wasn't specifically for any age. Children could play and enjoy it, adults could play and enjoy it, teenagers could play and enjoy it, but Security Breach only cares about keeping the attention of children. On this giant table, somebody decided to stack plates like this. There's another one of these stacks of plates at the customer service desk for some reason. Also, the machine gets destroyed by magnets for some reason. I already brought that up, but it's still stupid, so I'm gonna say it again.
Yes! The magnet scrambled the machine! Oh man, now it's some kind of daycare pass?
That is great news. I will meet you in the daycare. The entrance is on the second floor balcony.
Also, how convenient, out of all of the tickets that Gregory could have possibly gotten from the machine, it happened to be the one to the location that was right next to where he is. And to top this all off, the elevators aren't accessible to guests, even though they would need to use them to get around. Okay, part 3 is done. My throat really hurts right now. It actually really hurts. I need to stop talking and I need to drink water after this. So, bye.